So I teach 8th grade math and 8th grade algebra 1 at Northgate. We are in Bellevue, Avalon area of Pittsburgh. Our building actually holds grades 7 through 12. So we're a pretty small district. So Northgate has created a community for our students to maintain the focus of each course while ensuring that each student has the opportunity to engage in online learning. So we are moving towards one-on-one or one-to-one material, but we aren't quite there yet. But the district did provide Chromebooks to anybody that was in need of it so that they could continue with the online learning. Our format that we are using is Google Classroom. So that's how we present all of our assignments, and then each teacher is allowed to present it however they want. Okay, so I am using Khan Academy for my main resource for my students. So whenever the kids were already used to using Khan Academy, because we would occasionally use it in during when we were actually in the building. So so I knew it would be an easy transition for them, or at least an easier transition than, you know, trying something new. So I immediately, I don't know if you're used or aware of how Khan Academy is set up. Some of you may be, some may not be. But Khan Academy has videos. So I assign them videos, I assign them practice problems, and I assign them quizzes. So whenever I was concerned, my biggest concern whenever when we switched to online learning was that a lot of my students need that one-on-one attention. And I was like, how am I going to show them to work out a math problem, like a math problem in particular? So I went to YouTube and just searched everything to figure out how to make this work for me. So I'm going to show you two different camera apps. The first one is, I think I do have to present to make this one work. I linked these. Jana, you can share this with them too. It's fine. So the first one is Epoccam. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but this one had a ton of good reviews. So when you open up the app, you're gonna you need to in order for it to work on the computer, you need to download the app to your computer and to your phone. So this is the Epoccam one. I downloaded it, but I could not get this one to work. It was very frustrating for me because I couldn't, and then I have an Android, so I think that might be part of the problem with this app. Although it says that you can use it for Androids, but I just couldn't get it to work with my computer. So then I did a little bit more research. I'm going to close out that other one. And the Droidcam is the one that I went with. So when you click on this, you get this install button. Obviously mine is already installed, but it's a very simple install. You just follow through the steps, and you have to give them access to your you know, your sound and your pictures and your video, things like that. And then the same thing is for your phone. Okay, so you're just going to download both of these things. When you download them, it comes up with this little icon on your desktop. I also pinned it to my taskbar down here to make it easier to find. If you don't have that, the Epoccam one didn't give me an icon, but you can see this is the icon for it down here whenever I pinned it to my taskbar. Anyway, so this is the screen that you get. And I'm going to go over all of these a little bit more in a few minutes. But this is just the little screen that you get. All right, so let me get back into here and get out of this. All right, so this is my setup here. These pictures here, this is my desk. And right here is my phone, and I just put my little paper underneath there so that I can write through it. And then it shows up onto my screen. Amazon, I did try to prop it up and do all these crazy things to get the phone to stay put, and I just gave in and decided to purchase this from Amazon. It was it says it's $20.99 now, but it actually was cheaper back in April. But if you look at it, it'll also hold the iPad. It's big enough. It stretches this. Oops, it stretches right here, and it rotates. I'm not selling it. I did research quite a few of them, and this one I liked the best. But it has a lot of features. The thing that I liked about it the most, some of the other ones just had like little clips, but this one actually had a really nice bracket that really gave a secure connection. And then obviously you can use it for other things as well. Okay, so the way I'm using it is along with Zoom. I am, and I'm going to show you that right now, what I do. So I usually get my thing. I usually get this open right away, and I drag it over here because it always pops up on the left side, and then I can't see it whenever I'm trying to talk. So then I minimize my computer screen so I can see both at the same time. And then usually I'll, like when I'm doing it, I'm always, well, lately I've been one-on-one with them. So I usually put our two pictures down here. So it just shows up down here so I can see their face, and I'm sharing my screen so they can see my face as well. So then, like I said, I'm using Khan Academy. So I would go into my students page. This is their assignments, and I can see what they're working on. And these things are not completed. So if I go down here, so if I look at this one and I say, okay, well, let's do equations with variables on both sides. So I would have that up. I would go into the side that tells me what, the internet is super slow here. So then these are the problems that they're looking at, and I would have them sign into their Khan Academy, and I would say, you know, which problem are you working on? And then, oh, I didn't tell you about these over here, sorry. Okay, so whenever I open this, let me go back to this, sorry. So I'm gonna just hit start. So this is my screen. I can write on this paper, and if they tell me they're working on this problem right here, I can physically write it out, go through the steps with them. They can explain it to me and make sure that we really have a clear understanding. I can give them additional examples, maybe ones that they're not doing, tell them to try one on their own. But I can physically write out the whole problem, show each step, and you know, allow them that wait time, or you know, just even to slow it down, because you know, when they're watching the videos assume that they are that they have previous knowledge, you know, so they don't always go back where whenever you're explaining something in person, sometimes you give them the, you know, little reminders of, you know, what they need to remember in order to do the problems. So let's just go over this little screen here a little bit of the different things that you can do. So I'm connected by Wi-Fi, and sometimes it is a little sketchy. It has a little bit of delay. It's not really delaying too much now, which is good. But I am going to, well, I've already ordered a connector so that I can do it directly. So I'm hoping that that'll work a little bit better. So the other little features here, you can do a pop out where it just gets a little bit bigger there. These ones are zoom in and zoom out, so I can, you know, again, if I want to just keep everything over here so that they can see all of the problems, I can just zoom into whatever line I'm writing on. This one gives you, turns on your phone flashlight, so it gives it a little bit brighter. This one's an autofocus. This one, I didn't tell you this earlier, but I actually bought, both of these have a free version and a paid version. I did end up getting the paid version. I think it was like $5.99 or something. It's very cheap. But it allowed me to flip through this. I don't know if I, but it allowed me to get the mirror image of something. So like if I wrote, let me just write something here, 4b plus 5 equals 1 plus 5b. So if I had that out there, it was showing up like this. So I needed that mirror image so that they would be able to see it clearly. This one will allow you to rotate it. And this one allows you to, oops, make a, save it as a picture, okay? So you could even save that and then send it to them as an email. Okay, let's go back. And then whenever you're done, you just hit stop here, and this screen comes back, and you can just close it out. Okay. So let me get out of this full screen here. So lessons learned and key takeaways. I really feel like this gave me that connection back with my students. I feel like they appreciated the personal attention. They also, I think whenever they're at home like this, like they're really not around a lot of students, so, or their friends, or even some of their parents are not there, they're by themselves. So I think they like that personal attention, being able to connect back with somebody else that's not in their house. Gives the students time to process. Like I said, the wait time that they don't get for in watching a video, you can actually be sure that they are having an understanding of the process. And the videos sometimes just go too fast for them. You know, they just go too fast, and this just slows it down and it makes it feel more normal, right? Demonstration in real time in all subject areas. So, I mean, I'm showing it to you in math for a math situation, but in kindergarten, you could, you know, use it for story time, you know, and actually have the book there and interact with them rather than making them a video. I mean, the videos are really nice. I think, you know, it's good, but I think this just gives them that personal connection where they're with their teacher. And then the last one here encourages student participation and engaged interaction. Again, it allows them to ask questions. It allows them to interact with you and clarify their understanding. You could even do this as a brainstorming activity. You know, there's lots of different uses for a document camera. So I use one in my classroom daily. So to use it online here was a huge help for me. Okay. And then, oops. Oh, I did that. Okay, so my practical tips and takeaways. Check your system requirements for each of your devices. I really had trouble with that Epoccam one. I think it probably does work better for the Apple and Mac or iPhone rather than the Droid. And obviously, you can't use the Droid one if you have an iPhone. But there's lots of them out there. I preferred the Droid one over the Epoccam one too, also because it was so simple. Like, it's just a very simple screen. It doesn't do. Initially I thought I wanted something that was going to do something elaborate, but I really just wanted it to, you know, show me the picture. So I think keeping it simple is a lot better for me for what I was looking for. Organize your desk, set up. My setup is done. It's like this all the time. So I'm ready to go. Students will email me and they'll say that they need help. So I'm ready to go anytime that they are needing help. Another recommendation is to try to close as many applications and tabs on your tab bar up here that you can, because especially if you're using Wi-Fi, it will really slow it down. And certain times of the day, it gets really slow as well. Oh, this is a big one. Silence notifications on your phone prior to a session because whatever pops up on your phone will pop up on the screen. So make sure that you are, you know, putting it on do not disturb, and that makes it a lot better. And the last thing here, do one-on-one sessions until you feel comfortable. So initially I was trying to do whole group sessions, and I would have a lot of kids on at the same time, and that really wasn't working for me. It was like the kids were not getting the attention that they needed. They were all on different problems, and it just made it a lot better for the student and myself to work on these one-on-one sessions because they could get the individual attention that they need. So next steps. So like I said, I have been using this just live, you know, but I really would like to move towards creating a video library. I'd like to, because who knows where we're going to be next year when we start off the year, and I would like to have those little resources. So what you could do is just create a Zoom meeting with yourself and put your notes down, do your lesson, and just record that, and then post that in your Google Classroom or whatever format you use. And so that's my next goal, to be able to start doing that. I guess I talked really fast because I'm at the end here.
That's